Welcome to Limitless Property Podcast. Today, I've got a very interesting guest, Marcus Vela. How you going?
Thanks for having me, Bill. I'm going good, thank you.
That's good, mate. Marcus is an expert in ads, meta, content marketing, email.
Everything to do with marketing for brokers.
Websites, landing page, correct. All the above, specifically for mortgage brokers.
Mortgage brokers, that's correct.
Cool. All right. Mate, how did you get into this?
It was, to be honest, it was an accident. So I started working in-house for a broker towards the end of 2023.
Yep.
I was in university, went to him initially as a client, so I wanted to get a mortgage.
And what did you do at uni?
I did an accounting degree. So somewhat similar to the property industry. And I went to him. I was actually going to be a broker initially. Anyways, he was with a marketing agency and they sort of didn't do great. And he's like, do you want to do my marketing on the side? And of course, I jumped at the opportunity because I was young and I was like, I'll take anything I can get. Mm-hmm. Started doing marketing in-house for him. Did pretty good after a few months. And then I'd say about maybe 4 or 5 months in, I got pretty serious. I was like, I'm just going to do the marketing now. I just want to do marketing. About another 6 months went by and we started getting really good results. He had brokers reaching out to him saying, who does your marketing? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't want to start my own business at that stage. I didn't really think much of it. And then
you're also about 18 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was actually 17 at that time. Oh no, I was 18, yeah. Anyways, cut another 8 months down the track. He became an MPA top 100 broker because we were running like lots of ads, lots of marketing.
So he was broking. And then you started running ads for him.
Yeah. We started doing content and then became an MPA top 100 broker.
So what was, office. How was his volume before that?
It was decent. It was decent.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It was decent.
Jumped.
It jumped quite a bit. Yeah. Got more staff members. Got a new office. Everything was going good. And then, basically I realized, there's actually quite a few brokers that are reaching out asking. I was like, I'm going to start a business. I actually started it privately at the start. So a lot of people don't know that. I was just working privately with clients. And then I'd say come December 2025, I was like, I'm going to give this a proper crack. And started MOBA.
Cool. And when you started running ads for this broker, how did you know what to do? You just figured it out.
I didn't.
Yeah.
It was a very slow process,
Obviously it worked. A lot of brokers have issues getting leads with ads.
It was literally a process of just refining it. So obviously it did what everyone did when they start. So I started running still image ads and then I was like, okay, these aren't doing amazingly. I started doing video ads. And then I realized it's not the ads, it's actually the lead forms. Because initially I was running lead forms and I was like, look, we're getting lots of volume. We're getting 300 leads plus per month, but they're all not great quality.
And a lead form is name number.
Yeah, name number. So a lead form is it's called a meta lead form. It's like a built-in thing on Meta. So they don't have to leave the app. It stays on Meta.
And that's when I accidentally fill in people's lead forms. Right, yeah. Because I'll click through a story and then I click it and I click it again and it auto-populates my name and number.
Yeah, which obviously means the quality isn't great because there's not much friction. So went through that rabbit hole, realized that's not great either. And then I discovered the final sort of variant of it, which is obviously video ad to a landing page because a landing page actually has friction to it. And that helps boost lead quality. And obviously you can go further. You can charge booking fees if you want to really increase the lead quality, but it depends on sort of how big you are, how much volume you want. But that's how I worked it out initially. Yeah. Just through trial and error after a couple of years.
Okay. So that is a video. So a video of a broker talking about something, then someone clicks on a link and that takes them off Instagram.
Yeah, correct. It's so they actually removed that. So they used to be able to actually go off Instagram into Safari or Google Chrome, whatever they use. And that's when Meta used to be really powerful. But unfortunately, Apple banned that. So now it actually opens in Instagram still. So when you click on an ad, it does open in a browser, but it's still on Instagram's app. That's just so Instagram can keep tracking them. But to answer your question directly, it goes, yes, they see the ad, they click on the ad, they go to a landing page.
Yep.
And then on that landing page, you'll have a headline, a hero section, your offer, just some persuasive copy to make them want to book in. They'll click a button on that landing page, will take them to a calendar page. Then the calendar page, they can select the time, they can pick, they'll answer some questions. So they'll say how much do you earn? What's your deposit? What's your job status, living status, residency status maybe? Are you working with a broker? All these different qualifying questions.
Income.
And then after they submit, it books in a time and then you get the question sent to you.
Okay. And what type of marketing is that the best type of marketing that works best for a broker?
I would say that's what works best for most brokers. So there is different styles. Some people do really well with webinars. So they'll do sort of cohorts where they'll charge tickets. And then they'll do a live webinar to people. Some people do well with lead magnets. Mm-hmm. You yourself did pretty good with lead magnets. Other people just do good with honestly lead forms as well. Some people prefer getting lots and lots of volume. So they're like, I know the leads are going to be slightly worse quality, but if I can get 500 leads a month and I just sift through them, I'll eventually find someone good. So it really depends on what you want to be like as a broker.
And the lead magnets,
yes,
which you were talking about, which you helped me do.
Yes.
The thing with those is it's usually like we done a top 10 report, top 10 suburbs, hotspots list.
That related to the buyer's agency, yeah.
Yeah. And then I posted it and we didn't boost it, but it was just comment.
It was just comments, yeah. So the idea is that you make a lead magnet, then you say like, you obviously sort of hint towards how good it is, make content around it. So you don't sell the lead magnet directly in the content. You sort of make content related to the lead magnet. So you were sort of breaking down suburbs that we were covering on it. And you said, if you want to see the next couple of suburbs, comment, I don't know, property, and we'll send you a lead magnet. And then what happens is ManyChat, which is a software that connects with Meta,
which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty popular now. But anyways, it just sends that to the people, and then obviously you say to them, where can we send this? Because if you say, what's your information, people are like, oh, I don't really want to submit it.
Yeah.
But if you sort of hide it as like, where can we send this? We want to help you out. They're like, oh yeah, here's my email, here's my number. Makes it like a lot less friction. And then there you go, you just got yourself a lead. But that's not as high quality lead, right? Because you can't really ask them the income and stuff like that, but it's also probably a warmer lead because they actually follow you. That's the only difference.
Yeah, so everyone that's commenting on that, or majority, are people that follow me or whoever the broker is, stuff like that. So probably not going to work if you got 50 followers or 100 followers.
Exactly. Yeah,
if you've got a bit of a following.
I wouldn't use that strategy for anything under like 4K followers probably.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. That was good. And the process off the back of the lead magnet is obviously call
extreme
up the clients and say, hey,
extreme follow-up.
How'd you go with that?
Exactly. Yeah. So you say something along the lines of, you download the property thing. How did you find it? Blah, blah, blah. I'll answer questions. Then that's when you move into, so are you looking to buy property later this year, or where are you looking to buy, stuff like that, and just slowly work the way into the sale, book them into a meeting or something, and then go from there.
Cool. And a lot of the time, if they already know you and then you call them off the back of it, they might be like, oh, thanks for the call.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Exactly,
cool.
Yeah.
What are, if you're building a landing page or a broker's building a landing page, what are the 3 main things that they need to have on that, so you can have stuff like income filters, all that sort of thing? But if a broker's building a landing page from scratch, some of them will have like a VSL, the video on there, whatever. What are the 3 biggest things you'd put on a landing page?
Well, the first
obviously to increase conversion.
Yeah, the first and most important thing is a headline, because the headline is the first thing they'll see, like literally the first thing they'll see. And if that headline's not good enough, people are just going to click off the page, and then it doesn't matter how good the rest of that landing page is, no one's going to see it because they didn't even scroll past it. Yeah,
headline is
the first thing they see. So like that would be like discover how investors are building a portfolio of whatever it might be. Like headline basically alludes to, they want to read more of the landing page. A mistake people make is they just say like brokers for 20 plus years, or like something generic about themselves. And that's not really going to work for an ad copy. It works good on a website, but for actual ad copy, when you say like, I don't know, brokers for 20 years or Sydney's best mortgage brokers, doesn't really work for ad copy. It needs to be more direct and sort of relate to the landing page. That's the most important thing, because that's obviously the first thing they'll see. After that would be the hero section, which is just beneath the headline. Yep. And that's where you almost give like a summary of the landing page in 3 dot points. So it's like, you could say, evaluate from 60 plus lenders. You could say, build a tailored plan to your situation, wherever it might be. And then you could say, if it's first home buyers, you could say, discover the government grants and stuff available to you. Essentially, it's just summarizing that landing page in 3 dot points, so that if they actually like it, they're like, okay, let me read some more. So those first 2 sections, headline and hero section, are the most important, because that's the first thing they'll see. If they scroll or they click away, they're not going to see the rest of it. Okay. The next most important thing is the offer. So we're actually clearly laying it out for them. So the reason we lay out the offer clearly is because people actually don't know what they're going to get from you, right? Like, of course, what's included in a 15-minute meeting because you've done it 1,000 times. But if they've never had a meeting with you before, how do they know what's actually included? Okay. So you actually have to put the offer in there and say, here's what is included. So you could say, borrowing and rate report, we'll unpack your financial situation, whatever the offer is. But, you could say lead magnet, whatever it is, like lay it out clearly so they can actually see it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then the final phase of that is booking, and that's usually booked through what, Calendly or something?
It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You can use Calendly, you can use Go High Level, HubSpot.
But it's something where they pick a time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I like to make them book in a time, because if they just submit their name and number, it's just a game of you just calling them and hoping they pick up. But if they actually book in a time, they're going to set it aside for you most of the time.
They should be ready.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. And what are, in your opinion, the 3 biggest mistakes that brokers make when they try and do marketing? Because I speak to a lot of brokers, and a lot of them will say, tried running ads, didn't work, this and that, whatever. Why is that? Because a lot of them also try and do it themselves, and they spend money and they don't know what they're doing. They just throw money at Meta. But what would you say are the 3 biggest things that they do wrong that cause them to get
With
either
ads.
low quality leads. And
Yeah.
I think it's probably a lot of them I see them, they run lead forms.
Exactly, yeah.
They're very low quality.
Yeah.
But what else?
I'd say the three biggest things are, number one, actually not posting content whilst you're running your ads. Because when someone sees your ad, they're going to be very skeptical to actually click on it. Because like I always say this to people, if you've spoken to me, you would know it. But I say like if you're buying a drink bottle, if you're buying a jumper, if you're buying a pair of shoes on Meta, it's a much lower sort of risk perception, right? Like they're happy to spend $50. Worst case is you lose $50, right? But when it comes to a mortgage, for most people, that's the biggest thing they'll ever do. Like the biggest thing they'll buy, the most risky thing they'll ever do in their life, right? So they're going to be very skeptical. So it's a way different type of selling. With a drink bottle stuff, you can just market it to a cold audience, they might buy it. You'll do pretty good, right? But when you market a mortgage to a cold audience or the mortgage service to a cold audience, they're going to be like, well, who's this guy? As if they're just going to see you once and be like, yeah, I'm going to go with this guy, bang. So I like more advertising to a warm audience. So that's sort of building the audience up first through traffic and awareness ads, through your content, and then retargeting those people. So,
And how long are you running a traffic and awareness ad?
I'd say anywhere from 3 to 6 months. That's how long you do it for. Until you can like visibly say, okay, my page is actually growing now. People are following me. People are reaching out to me. Now I'm going to start running the ads and retargeting those.
And then when you run that traffic and awareness ad,
Yes.
you then run the ad with the landing page, the lead form, all
Yes. A
that
few
to the
months later.
people.
Yes,
that
to those people, yeah.
seeing the traffic.
Exactly, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that's the first thing I'd say. They don't make content because if someone clicks on your page and they don't see any content, they're going to be like, well, why would I go with this person? Like imagine you have two brokers, right? One broker posts every single day or posts really high quality content that's educational. Another just has like AI still images and like random stuff. Who are they going to go with, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the person that's posting content. The next mistake I'd say they make is probably just utilizing image ads. So I'd say it feels comfortable because you don't have to put your face on camera, but video ads convert way better than still image ads. Like I've spent millions on meta ads for brokers and I've like visibly seen the difference. It is a lot better for video ads.
What about carousels? No good?
Carousels are definitely coming up. They're definitely coming up. But again,
they're doing well organic.
they do really well organic. Yeah, organic they do really well. But paid, I'm not a big fan of them yet. I still think video ads definitely do better. Only because a video ad, they can sort of get a feel for who you are and sort of what you look like, what you sound like.
More personality.
Yeah, more personality. And that just makes them a little bit more comfortable to actually go ahead and reach out to you. And the third mistake they make is probably, we touched on it just then, just doing lead forms instead of landing pages as well. I think there is a place for lead forms, definitely, but you shouldn't just be relying on lead forms if you're trying to actually get proper quality leads.
And we were talking about this earlier, but one option if you are doing the lead form, getting bulk leads is potentially looking at an appointment setter.
Exactly, yeah. So that's the new thing that's coming up at the moment. So as we said, if you do use lead forms, you can get very cheap leads. Like you can get like $5 leads, right? Which sounds amazing, but in reality, when you speak to them, they're a $5 lead, right?
When you speak to 100,
yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly,
like
yeah.
$5.
So there's a new thing that I'm sort of trying at the moment where appointment setters actually go through that list of leads for you, and then you pay them based on the bookings or based on settlements, whatever the sort of volume is, whatever the agreement you can get with them.
So your appointment setter, you don't need to bring them in as like a PAYG employee.
I mean, if you're doing that much volume, you probably can. Like you have to be doing lots of volume for that. That could be expensive as well. But yeah, I guess you could. You definitely could try PAYG if you wanted to, I guess. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And for the Meta, Facebook, Instagram, what's the split between, like I'm saying, Facebook, Instagram? Where are you running most of the ads?
I'd say for the traffic and awareness ads, I like to run it all on Instagram actually. So I actually turn it off on Facebook. For depending on the broker, because sometimes older brokers typically do better on Facebook.
Really?
The
audience is older.
It's a slightly older audience. And a lot of younger brokers, like between the age of, 26 to 32, they do way better on Instagram. So I realized about, 5 months into this that I'm spending money on Facebook for these brokers and no one's really following them on Facebook. So I was like, let's put all the spend towards Instagram. And then straight away I realized, bang, like they're growing way faster on Instagram. So again, it depends like significant on what the broker wants to do, who they want to target. Like if you're doing SMSFs, for example, I'd say, probably you want to go on Facebook as well as Instagram.
Okay.
But like for first home buyers, maybe Facebook isn't as necessary. So yeah, I'd say it really depends on that. But to give you a direct answer, the split, I'd say 80% of the views, likes, comments, leads would come from Instagram and 20% from Facebook on average. Yeah.
All right. And in terms of organic content, brokers doing organic content, do you have any advice for that?
I would say, so the first thing is that you don't need to post every day. I think that is the biggest misconception that's pushed, because originally it just started from big media companies. So I'm going to say content became popular maybe 6 years ago, and it all started from big media companies saying post as much as possible. And why are they saying that? So you can buy bigger packages, right?
Yeah.
If they sell you 90 posts a month, they can charge you literally 3 times as much if they did 30 posts a month, right? So that was a massive agenda that was pushed. And then people started jumping on and be like, yeah, that makes sense. Post as much as possible. But here's what happens, right? If you post 90 posts a month, right? And they're all just terrible. They're all just junk. You just post it just for the sake of posting and no one watches it. 2 things happen. Number one, you become known as the broker that's just spamming rubbish and no one watches it. So the second they see your post, it's going to scroll anyway. And number 2, if you're posting 90 pieces of content and people are scrolling within seconds, that's not good for your algorithm. Meta's going to say, okay, we're trying to feed this guy to a new audience, and every single time the audience is scrolling, we're just going to stop feeding it to people. You just get locked in
to get no reach.
Yeah, you'll get locked into 100 or 200 view jail, right? Whereas if you spend time making 15 to 20 pieces of content a month and it is good quality, it teaches people something, it gives them applicable value, it really shows them some way to benefit their financial lives, that's when you start building an audience actually doing better. So I'd say with organic content, that's what you should focus on. You don't need to post every single day. What was the first half of the question again?
What would you say to brokers doing organic and stuff like that? So obviously one thing is
you don't need to post every day. Yeah. It's also the other thing as well. It's also very hard to post 5 times a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. So it sounds great in theory, post twice a day. If you actually try, if you've tried doing it, it is hard to do that. For an extended period of time.
And what's the best content? For me, when I post, the best content is personal stuff, talking about my own properties, how much debt I've got, how much rental income I get, all that stuff.
I think it's different for everyone. It works well for you because you've built a large portfolio, so people are interested in that. But for some people, they can't have that. I would say, obviously, pick your niches, right? So I don't think you need to just pick a crazy niche. There's different levels of niching, right? There's first home buyers, then there's first home buyers from Sydney, and then there's first home buyers from Sydney that are nurses. So you can pick your level of niching. But I say for brokers to focus on the content, they pick whatever their niche is. And then they'd make a wide variety of content around that. So you can do talking head content where you sort of answer basic questions. Then you have Q&A where you can pretend that someone's asking you a question, or if you're a bigger broker and you're actually getting questions, then you can just answer those questions. You can do property breakdowns depending on what they are. So if it's first home buyers, you'd say, how much would this property in Parramatta cost? It's a 2-bed, 2-bath.
Yeah, they do well.
Yeah, what would the deposit look like? What would the repayments look like?
Green screen.
How much you need to earn? Front of it. Green screen. You can do reaction videos to controversial stuff. So obviously, I think Chalmers is doing the budget next Tuesday or something, on May 12th. So I'm going to do quite a bit of videos around that for my brokers because that will get views. Because obviously, the more controversy, however you can sort of tie it to get views, it'll work like that. So yeah.
Just if your video blows up, be ready for the hate.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. In terms of brokers coming to you, asking for marketing help and stuff like that, what are the things that you wish they knew when they came to you? So, for example, brokers probably come to you and they're like, dude, get me $5 leads. I'm going to convert them all and I'm going to get, a deal. Every 2 leads, I'm going to get a deal and the lead cost is going to be $10 or whatever per settled deal. What's the expectation versus reality sort of thing?
I think the biggest sort of expectation is I turn on ads and I make money straight away for a lot of brokers, but they don't realize that you actually have to have a brand in place before you can start doing that. So if you could turn on ads,
a brand in place.
I'll explain. So if you could turn on ads and make money straight away and get a bunch of leads, I wouldn't have a job. Yeah. Because you could just turn on ads, right? But it's not that easy. So the mistake people make is they think they can just run some ads and I'll make money, right? But then they realize that's not how it works. So you need to have a brand in place, whether that's personal brand or business brand. I typically prefer personal brand, but there is certain situations where business brand is actually okay. And you want to make sure that sort of, as I said, you build that warm audience first and then you can retarget them. So if you build a personal brand of, let's say, 8,000 followers, people are following, people are liking you, that's when you can probably turn on the ads and be like, yeah, this is good to go. So I would say if people come to me, they have 100 followers or they have done 0 content before, they've never done ads before, and can you just start getting me leads? I'm like, I actually cannot. No, it's very hard to do that. You can't just turn on an ad and think people are going to trust you. Again, you're selling a mortgage here, right? So
what would you do if someone come to you with 100 followers? What are you saying to them?
Start posting that content first. Save your money. Don't spend it on ads. If you try and spend money on ads, you're going to get hurt, right? So save your money, put it towards hiring a content person, or put it towards buying a camera or buying some lighting. Post that content first, build that personal brand first, and then go and run the ads, or save the money and run the ads later down the track.
So to have ads work, you need to put in the hard work to actually.
Yeah, because think about it. If you see an ad personally, what are you going to do? You're not just going to buy straight away. You're going to click on the page, have a quick snoop around, see that they're real, sort of audit them if that makes sense, and then you'll go ahead and make a decision, right? But if you go on that page and you just see nothing, just complete dead page, you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't know,
16 followers.
Should I buy from this person?
Is this a real business?
And now, exactly, is this a real business? And now you click on the page and it's got thousands of followers, strong quality content. People are like, this guy's posting educational content. It makes sense. You're learning stuff. You're like, okay, yeah, I actually like this person. I'll give them a go.
So the brokers that are doing well with ads are generally the ones that are doing
content as well.
Okay, so they're doing well with organic content, and then the ads is supercharging that, basically. Okay,
correct, yeah.
Cool. So first step is build a brand, show your knowledge, whether that's investment, first time buyer, whatever it is.
the niche is.
They get the content out there, which is the same thing that I say to people. They say to me, you know, what am I doing wrong with content? And they show me their Instagram, they've posted 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate.
You need to post quite I'd say after about 3 to 4 months of consistent posting, and it's actually good posting, you'd start seeing some pretty good traction.
It took me 3 to 4 months to get a lead.
Yeah. There's a difference between posting and actually posting good content as well. That's another big thing. I think the fastest way to improve your content, I say to a lot of people, it's very, very simple. It's just find 3 things your content can be improved on and just keep doing that over and over again. So the first round, you might say, okay, maybe my lighting was off. Maybe my camera angle was slightly weird. And maybe I didn't speak too confidently. So you go, okay, I'm going to focus on fixing those 3 things. Then you fix them. And then you go for round 2 and you go, okay, now it looks like my, camera angle wasn't great. And maybe I was slashed a little bit in my videos and maybe my hook was a bit weak. And then you go, okay, I'm going to focus on those. And then round 3 comes around and now you've got good lighting, good camera audio, hooks are doing good. And they say, okay, now I'm going to focus on my script. And then you go for round 4 and say, okay, now maybe the topics that I'm covering aren't so great. You just keep doing over and over again. And after about 6 months of just constantly finding 3 things to improve over and over again, eventually after 6 months, you're starting amazing, really high quality content.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I did when I started.
That applies to everything in life as well.
But it does.
Just find 3 things and constantly get better at them, and then find another 3 things and just keep stacking that up.
It's good advice. Yeah, keep going. I don't know what I did. I think I just started. I just posted and kept going, and eventually, you get a little bit better each video.
Exactly.
Your first one, you feel awkward. You're a bit nervous.
Exactly.
The first video I did took me, I don't know, an hour to do a 30-second video, and now if I do a 30-second video, I do it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's one take. But
my first video, I tortured myself. I did a YouTube video first for some reason.
How long did that take?
I didn't even go to short form. I went straight to YouTube. I remember it was a Sunday night. It took me about 4 hours to shoot a 5-minute YouTube video. It was terrible.
Why? Because you just kept doing takes and takes.
Yeah, I was just terrible. I hadn't filmed before. I felt like, do I feel awkward? And I was editing it post-edit, and I'd said the same line 90 times. I was like, I don't know which take's the best. And then I realized they were all basically the same anyway. I was just being a perfectionist.
People get nervous about it. So people say to me, I made a video, but I seem nervous. And I'm like, dude, that's okay. Don't post it. You can post it and it'll be fine, or you don't look nervous, whatever. But if you don't like it, don't post it. But make that video again for 30 days. Yeah. If you make the same video 30 days in a row on the 30th day, if it's still
I'd say it actually, that's a good point. It does take about probably 2 months to start feeling confident on camera. It's not a normal thing, right? It is pretty weird jumping on a camera and filming. So it takes a while to get used to it. And then I always say to brokers, after you get that first lead from content, I don't give a shit how I look. I'm making money. Yeah. I'm getting leads. I'm getting views. It is what it is, right? It sucks when no one's watching, but after you start getting that audience coming in, you're like, who cares?
You can't worry about how you look. I see some people, and I've said it before, but they'll film content and they'll only film content when they're in a studio with their suit on, with their hair done, all this stuff. Mate, it's too much effort. You're never going to keep doing it. If you need to do a video every day or every second day or something like that, just get your phone out, sitting on your couch, in the car, whatever, and just film.
Another really good thing you can do is build a mini home studio, a mini office studio. And we spoke about this a while ago. The reason I like that for brokers is because you can jump in that studio and film straight away. So if you don't have anywhere to film, sometimes it can be a bit awkward. But if you set up a camera in a room with lighting and you can just jump on, hit record, do your lines, and then leave.
Especially if
it's way faster.
Especially if you're not great at it and it takes you 2 hours to film a video. The lighting doesn't change and it doesn't look all...
Exactly. Yeah. Once you get more confident on camera, you want to be more sort of versatile with where you film, make it more, switch it up a little bit. But if you're really nervous, set a camera up on a tripod, get a small little light, have a teleprompter if you want, read your lines, and then you're good to go. And make sure you do it in a dark room as well. I always say this, if you try and do it in a random office with a massive window, it becomes very hard because obviously the natural light changes, right? If you're filming at 10 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and 7 at night, your lighting has to change. But if you do it in a dark room where you get blackout curtains or something where there's no windows, then you can literally, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, what the weather's like, you can just jump in that room, turn the light on, turn the camera on, record, and jump out. And at least you've got content coming out that way then.
Yeah. And
that's what I'm trying to get started.
What do you need to make a studio? I think you've done a video on that. Did you do
Yeah,
a video
I did a video on that a while ago. Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? I'd say the iPhone camera is
Link
honestly.
in bio to Marcus' studio.
I'd say an iPhone camera is honestly fine to get started. Like people overhype. You don't need a $9,000 camera.
But you've done a video saying how to make a studio.
Yeah, I did make a yeah. So I said, okay, if you want to have a camera, I'd say start with iPhone. But if you want something better, you can go to maybe like a, I don't know, maybe a A600, maybe. I don't know. There's all different types of cameras you can get. We use Canon C70s, but you don't need to go that in depth.
How much is the Canon C70?
I don't know, maybe 5.5.
5.5
about there.
Grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
no,
that's what I was saying.
What was the other
you
one?
don't need that. An A600, you can do that.
How much is that?
I don't know, maybe like, what do you reckon? 1,000, about that. Yeah, and then you need a lens as well.
Start with your iPhone.
Yeah. That's why I said the iPhone's fine. Like anything above from like an iPhone 15 it's honestly fine.
I've never used anything
for
but
content.
an iPhone.
Yeah. Then you just need like a small mic. I don't know. That's like maybe $200-$300 for like a little lavalier mic that just clips on your shirt.
Yeah.
Then some basic lighting. I don't know, maybe again $400, and then you're good to go. But again, even if you don't have the lighting and stuff, it's fine. Like just to get started, get good, and then as I said, after you get started, find 3 things to get better at, and after a while, you'll be fine. After about 6 months, you'll be great.
Okay. Cool. So that is Meta, Facebook, Instagram, content marketing, stuff like that.
Yes.
What about other stuff like email marketing? I don't know nothing about email marketing.
Okay, email marketing is a tricky one.
Wouldn't know where to start. Fill me in.
I think a big thing that's pushed online is everyone thinks email marketing is to get leads, and 100% it is, right? And for e-com, yep, it's great. But for broking, it's a very different story, in my opinion. I think email marketing for broking is more about a game of nurture and sort of trying to monetize your current loan book. So if you have a loan book of 200 people, your goal is sort of to stay top of mind and make sure that when they're at barbecues, school pickup, at work, stuff like that, and someone speaks about a mortgage broker, you're the one to actually come up and be like, oh, hey, my broker does this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
are you not doing that so I don't know email marketing at all, but I'm on socials all the time.
Yeah.
Would someone like me need to do the email marketing?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. There's two types of email marketing as well. There's obviously there's email marketing people that haven't actually become a client yet. So in that case, yes, of course, you're trying to sell, book them into a meeting. And there's email marketing to your loan book people that have actually become clients. So they're obviously two very different styles. If it's to the clients, it's more about educating them on what's happening in the market, what your business is doing, stuff like that. So like you can send a newsletter saying, if we were doing one for this month, we could say, okay, obviously
budget.
The Chalmers budget is coming out. You could say interest rates went up. You could say, what else happened in the last couple of months? Maybe the property market's dropping a little bit. It's softening by about, 1% a month at the moment, maybe actually a bit more in certain areas, stuff like that.
But you're not trying to actively
sell them. Yeah, you're trying to sort of educate them, build goodwill with them. Then you have a section saying, is it a good time to fix rates at the moment? You could just sort of break down, if you have this loan, here's what it could look like for you. And then just whack it in their inbox, maybe once a month, twice a month. And that's what you do for loan book marketing. And then for actual email marketing, we're trying to get leads. That's where you sort of do the exact same thing, but try and sell on it as well. And induce
a lot of lead form ads now that I'm seeing from brokers, buyers, agents, financial planners, whatever, accountants, stuff like that, where it's obviously for a less friction thing. Yeah. But they'll give you, a free playbook on whatever it is, and it's just the email.
Yeah.
So they obviously want your email to put you in their email list.
That's more of like a nurture funnel. So that's where you get the email, and then you can pre-build a nurture funnel to try and push them into something. So if you could say, I don't think you just said a playbook, whatever it is, so that they download the playbook, and then you might have like a 3-week nurture funnel where you can send them different things. So you can send them a case study. Okay. Then you can send them sort of a reason why they should work with you, for example. You can give them an example of someone you've helped similar to them. All these different things that you can push to them over a 3-week period with the hope that they'll eventually try and book out.
And the process there is you're nurturing them, putting them through a sequence of this is the step to build a property portfolio, whatever.
I'm not a super big fan of that though. I think it's way better to just call them. Like if you call someone enough times, eventually they're gonna answer you. Obviously don't spam them and call them like a million times, but I'd much rather a phone number than an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not. It's not a big priority, the email marketing. Because online you see some gurus.
It
going on about how good it is.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a big priority. It definitely is. But if we're talking about ads, I would always way rather have a phone number than an email. Yeah. Like 9 times out of 10, I'd rather have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'd rather get them on the phone and then say, hey, this is what we can do. Yeah, exactly. What's the situation? Rather than trying to
If you're confident on the phone, obviously. If you can't speak to anyone, like you're really nervous, then just try and get an email.
You're probably not a broker if you...
Exactly, that's what I said for most people. Yeah, it's just get a phone number.
Okay. Yeah. What about websites and SEO? Do you get into any of that stuff? What's your thoughts on that?
We do it for bigger clients, but it's very. I think it's very hard to start for a smaller broker, only because you need to have a massive website for it to actually work well. Yeah. And when it comes to Google, it's basically who can pay the most money. And good luck trying to compete against Combank and Mortgage Choice and Aussie and stuff like that. Like, you're not beating them. So that's why for smaller brokers that are doing less than, 80 mil a year, I'd probably try and, you can try it. Obviously, you can try it, but you get way better returns elsewhere, right? Like if you invest, 20 hours of your time and $5,000 in Google and then do that in meta ads or do that in content, you'll get a way better return in content on meta ads as a smaller broker. But I'd say the bigger brokerage that they're doing really well with SEO. Like I've got a client that literally generates like 4 or 5 leads a day from just having a big SEO website. Like the website's massive. They've probably got like,
what would you be spending roughly to get 4 or 5 leads a day?
On SEO.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, just before again.
I don't get what you're saying. That. Yeah.
I think over a 12-month period, they've probably spent almost 6 figures. Like,
yeah, wow. So
a lot of money. Yeah. Because all it is, like, how SEO really works, people won't tell you this. It's actually really simple. It's just posting as many blogs as possible, getting the website as big as possible, and then having different landing pages for different areas.
So posting more blogs makes your website bigger.
So it's not just blogs as well. It's also things called like sort of landing pages. So like you can say like, if you're in Sydney, you could do, we have a Blue Mountains one, we have a Penrith one, we have a Parramatta one, we have a Chatswood one. We have all these different sort of websites in different locations, and then they all sort of interlink with each other into the blogs as well. So if you post a blog about, first home buyer grants, then first home buyer incentives, like cover every little topic you can think about.
Is the expense in SEO?
Yes,
the
actually writing the blogs
in paying someone.
Literally, that's what it is. Yeah. So there's SEO is actually like more organic, and then paid is the labor is just.
So when I see SEO and they're like $100 a month, you're probably not getting a whole great deal for that.
I don't even know what you could do for $100. Maybe like one blog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So SEO is okay, but if you're a smaller broker, you're probably
what actually good? If you're a smaller broker that's actually willing to invest time, I genuinely think SEO is a great spot to do it. Like when I say invest time, I mean like literally 10 plus hours a week. But if I was a small broker, I would be actually open to doing that.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay someone. It'd be way too expensive to pay someone to do it. I'd probably try and do it myself.
Write blogs yourself.
If I was a smaller broker. And if you do it for about 12 to 16 months, my God, you'll do well after a while because no one's doing it, right? Everyone's on Meta and ads and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And what about other methods of getting leads? You got anything else? You got website, you got Meta, you got email marketing. Is there anything else you're seeing a lot of successful brokers doing? What else?
There's probably 2. There's webinars and then there's like sort of ManyChat funnels that we're speaking about. So webinars, you can do paid webinars or free webinars. I personally prefer paid webinars. Only because 2 reasons. Number one, it can pay for your ad spend. So if you're charging each person $50 for a ticket, that's just pays for your ad spend.
Yes.
And number 2, it sort of gets skin in the game. So if you can get, a webinar with 300 signups and you're like, oh, this is amazing, this is the best. And then come the night of the webinar and no one shows up, you're like, oh, why didn't you show up?
Webinar's live?
Webinar's live, yeah. So a webinar is like an online live event. A seminar is an in-person live event. So you can do seminars. I've done a couple of seminars, but webinars just easier, right? Because it's just on a Zoom call.
And you find people will pay for a webinar?
100%, yeah. If you have enough value, they definitely will. Yeah. If you're covering, like, for example, for yourself, you could say, I'm going to do a live webinar on how I build a 10 property portfolio. That's interesting. If you're saying a webinar on how to buy your first home, you'd have to sort of put a spin on it. So you could say, for example, I did one in October last year when those first home buyer changes came out. That was a good time where you could just say, here's how you buy a first home with these new changes.
Okay.
He'll pay for the ticket. The second reason I said skin in the game, if someone's paid $50 to $100 to buy a ticket off you, that they're going to show up. Like they're actually going to come on the night and then you could speak to them for 2 to 3 hours, present your stuff. If it's good enough, they're going to convert. If they've just watched your content, seen the ad, paid you money, sat through a 3-hour webinar, obviously they're going to be very, very warm and you can go and close on them. That's the first thing. The second thing is the sort of lead magnet ManyChat thing. So we spoke about this before. If you have a big enough audience, you can make some form of lead magnet and then just start pumping it through organic with just comment automation. So
when I did that, we actually did that and it was everyone that was a new follower just got a message and it wasn't a pushing message.
Yeah. It was more of just like, hey, thanks for following. Yeah. If you have any questions, just let me know. That's a pretty good way to do it. So that's where someone follows you and you have ManyChat just automate to say hello to them. The idea there is that if you get, anywhere from 800 to 1,000 followers a month. 800 to 1,000. Sound like I said 800,000.
Yeah.
And you message all 800 of those people automatically, and you don't get benefited because ManyChat is partnered with Meta. You can, let's say even 10 of them say, let's actually have a conversation. Out of those 10, if three of them close, 4 of them close, it's like a 40% close rate. That's 4 leads that you just got from literally just messaging people.
I reckon when I done it, it was probably 1 in 10, 15 replied, most people just see it and they know it's an automation and they're like, cool. But it also didn't, I was worried that people would follow me, they'd get that and they'd unfollow because they'd be like,
that's why you can't hard sell.
Spam. Which that didn't happen.
If you try and hard sell, they definitely will. Like if you say, hey, book in a call, blah, 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 they'll be like, oh, piss off, mate. But if you say like, hey, thanks for following, really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. If you have any questions, just let me know. They're like, oh, cool.
Because sometimes you follow someone, I'll follow someone and I'll get that ManyChat thing. But then it'll give me 2 options. And it'll be click here to click here to call. And then I click that and it sends another message and all that. So you don't like that? Too pushy?
Look, you can do it. And okay, yes, you probably will get more leads, but do you really want to be known as that guy that's trying to force stuff down people's throats? I know some brokers, they're happy to do that and that's fine. But for my sort of the way I do with people, I don't really like just forcing them into that sort of stuff. I feel like it's a bit pushy and it can rub people the wrong way sometimes. But yeah, you definitely can do that if you want to.
I think it's worked well when I did it and it would send people that automatic message. And then sometimes they'd be like, thanks for the message, mate. I heard you on so-and-so's podcast. And then they're like, I want to chat, whatever. And then you send them a link and they book a call and that works well. So for people that follow you for a reason, like if they've just heard about you from a friend or something as well, that works.
The other reason why I wouldn't hard sell straight away is because if they've followed you and you start hard selling something to them, but they don't like you anymore, you've just lost that person for life. But if they follow you and you don't try and hard sell, there's still a chance you can sell to them later. You know what I mean? So if 500 people follow you, you hard sell to every single one of them. I'm going to say probably 300 of them will be like, oh mate, go away. Right. But if that's basically 300 people you've just lost, that's the 300 chances you've just lost. But if 500 people follow you and you don't hard sell to any of them, that's still 500 people you can slowly nurture over the next 12 to 24 months. So like, that's why I wouldn't hard sell straight away.
So the key to this also though is if you want ManyChat to work any good, you need to be getting, like I said, if it's for me, like I said, I think 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 15 replied, and then it was probably 1 in 20, 1 in 30 that booked a call. So if you're getting 50, 100 followers a day, that works. But if you're getting,
I think I said just before,
50 followers a month.
I think I said just before, if you're getting 800 to 1,000 followers a month, for a lot of people, that's not many. That's a lot.
That's not many brokers.
That's correct. I'd say, I don't know, for most brokers, it's probably sitting around anywhere from 150 to 200 is like that's really good. That's really strong. Good. That's strong.
I mean, still, if you had ManyChat on and you converted 1 in 50
of
those and you got 200 a month, it's 2 deals. 4 deals. So if it's 100, it's 2 deals.
And then that can just pay for your ad spend if you want.
It's worth it. Well, ManyChat's free as well, isn't it? So,
not free, but it's like $10 a month or something.
Is there a free version or not?
There's a free version. There definitely is.
Well, you probably could use that if you're only doing 100 a month or something like that. Cool. All right, mate. I'll give you one last thing to end on. If you're going to give brokers one piece of advice to get leads online and start getting leads online from zero, I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be. Make content, make it interesting. What would it be?
There's a few things I'd do. Number one, I would say don't listen to people online that don't cover this specifically. So a big mistake I made when I first started was I was going on YouTube and watching tutorials and stuff, and I would see these guys from like America saying, oh, this is what your lead cost should be. This is what your click-through rate should be. And I was running my ads. I'm like, why isn't that high? Like they were saying like, oh, click-through rate should be like 7%. Cost per lead should be like $9, whatever it might be. And then I realized this is a roofing company in Texas. Of course it's going to be way cheaper. So I'd say, try and listen to numbers from Australian mortgage brokers or people that cover Australian mortgage broking stuff, because that's actually what it is. Like you're not going to get a 9% click-through rate as a mortgage broker on a lead-based ad. That is,
I would say that the big mistake a lot of people do is I get DMs from random people saying
blindly.
But I get randoms DM me saying, hey, we're an ad agency, we want to work with you or whatever. And they're running ads for cleaning companies. All this random stuff.
That's
so
what
you
I mean,
probably want people that,
you want to focus on, I'd say if you're trying to learn, focus on stuff that actually applies to you. Like don't just listen blindly to, even like Hormozy, right? He's great at business stuff, but when he speaks about ads, like he has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to Australian mortgage brokers. He doesn't do that, right? No. But he has a massive idea when it comes to American business owners or even gyms. Like obviously he's amazing at it, right? But I would say don't follow Facebook advice blindly on YouTube when you're watching videos. I'd say consistency is the next biggest thing. So like you can't just post for 2 months, 3 months, and then just quit for 6 months and then come back for 3 months. It's just never going to work, right? You've got to post consistently for a long period of time. I'd say to start off with, honestly, do it yourself. It's way cheaper. Just do it yourself, save money. Don't pay an agency until you actually get like higher up. It's just too expensive. Stay consistent. You don't need to post 1 billion times a day. It's like, that's not true. Just post actual quality content with applicable value. Make sure that when someone watches that video, they can get applicable value from it, so they can go and take whatever you've said and be like, that actually makes sense. I'm gonna go apply that. Like, you know, when you watch, that satisfying feeling when you say something online, you're like, that makes sense. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Try and optimize your videos around giving them that satisfying feeling. If they can get that like aha moment, that's what you're looking for.
Rather than a sell, teach them something.
Yeah. It's all about education over selling when it comes to content. So I'd say that applicable value. Don't follow advice blindly and just like get upset at yourself if you're not hitting those KPIs people are telling you to hit. Consistency and also time as well. It's a very slow game, the broker marketing world. Like it's not like, as I said before, like even like the Udi, remember Udi?
Yeah.
Like that can explode so fast because it's such a low perceived risk. Like you're buying a bloody jumper, you're not buying a mortgage, right? So it's a much slower marketing and sales process than what people think it is. So yeah, if you're willing to market properly, you've got to be in it for at least like 10 to 12 months to actually properly start building it properly. Yeah.
I usually say 6 months, but 10 to 12 is even better.
Well, 6 months is when you start getting leads. 10 to 12 when you're like, okay, I'm actually like doing proper business off this now. Like I'm doing
cool.
It. Yeah.
Very good. All right, mate. Thank you. Good to have you here. Thanks and probably have you on again sometime.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Easy.